Today on the Diz List, we count down our top 5 songs we'd love to see or hear in the new Country Bears show.
Welcome to the Diz List, the podcast that ranks everything in Walt Disney World. I'm Nick.
And I'm Rob, and welcome to episode 83, where we count down the top 5 songs we'd love to see or hear, both, in the new Country Bears show.
So this week, Country Bears closed, and I was thinking to myself, we pretty much know for a fact Bare Necessities is going in.
Yes. So we did not put that on our list. We actually talked about this before we started.
So
because I did put that on my list.
Right, yeah.
But then, I knew because they showed a portion of them, whoever the people were recording it, sounded fantastic.
Yeah.
And that's the song they were singing.
I think that there are some songs that have been leaked or whatever. It is what it is. These are the songs that I want to have on it. But let's just talk about the cast. Did you see the clip of the cast member this week?
Yes, that was very cool.
And she was like almost. This cast member was like almost in tears because at the end of the night, now they had been running show after show, pumping people in and out because it was the last day.
Yeah, pretty late too.
And those crazy animatronics, being what they are, didn't want to behave. And as she said, the bears were hibernating. You could tell from her voice it was cracking. It was very close to tears because it meant a lot. And the number of influencers and people who were filming it also said, I didn't realize how much I loved this until now. It's going away.
Yeah.
And they're happy that it's going to get at least updated, but they're also sad, right? But the cool thing was they said, you know what? We're not just going to close it because you waited in line, some of them 2 hours. Yeah. So we're going to let you come in.
They opened the doors.
Take pictures. Now, we're not going to, obviously. And there were people in there singing the songs.
Yeah.
I was like, man, it's like as if Rob went to Country Bears and decided, I'm just going to sing anyway.
I do.
Yeah. So,
did you happen to see the Tim Tracker video of going to the Country Bears?
I don't think I saw that one.
It was kind of cool. Check that out later today because he goes for the last time and they ask a trivia question. They ask the audience, I was watching it with my wife and I need to be a know-it-all, so they ask a trivia question, what was the original purpose or the original intent for the Country Bears? So I paused, I said, I know, and my wife rolls her eyes at me, and I said, it was part of Mineral King or whatever it was called that, it was going to be the ski resort that Walt Disney was going to do. And then I pressed play and the guy in the audience got it, and the cast member said, would you like to come up and start the show? And so this guy comes up, walks over to the mic, and it wasn't looking at anything. You got to see this verbatim. Says every single word that the cast member says, everything. You got to see this thing.
I wonder if it was a former cast member.
I don't know. I looked over at my wife and I'm like, how does he know all this? Everything. All the little bear puns built in, and then there's a green button on the wall to start the show, and he looks over and hits the button and starts the show.
Either A, it was a former cast member, or B, it was a plant. You know what I mean?
Could be. It was really impressive.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
And I have one more little embarrassing story.
Embarrassing?
Yes. Embarrassing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you don't know this one yet. So our good friend Rob from Ear Scouts, who's probably listening right now, posted that he went and got to go see the Country Bears. And I posted a little comment back to him. And I was really excited about this. And I thought I wrote... glad someone I know was there to experience this, and then hit send.
That's what you thought you wrote.
That's what I thought I wrote.
I don't know this story, folks. Yeah. I can't wait.
Yep. So later on, I don't know if I scrolled through. Somehow I went back and I looked, and Rob wrote, I'm pretty sure this is a typo, but I had a good time. And then I went and looked, and this is what I wrote. Glad someone I know was there to exploit this. Not experience, exploit. I don't know how it auto-corrected to that.
Oh, my God.
So Rob from Ear Scouts is reading, glad someone was there to exploit this. And
here's the good news.
Rob knows me and knows that, I love the Country Bears.
Here's the good news.
Sure.
The good news is that was from your personal account,
Yes.
and not one of
Right.
our Diz List accounts.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
So I went and deleted it and reposted because you can't really go in and edit. So I just deleted it and did it again. So Rob, if you're listening, I apologize, and I fixed it to what my original intent.
Oh
was
my
supposed,
gosh,
was supposed to be.
I am so
Yeah.
that I'm embarrassed for you.
Yeah.
That's hilarious though. But good news is that Rob has a good sense of humor. I'm sure he understood that that was not what you wanted to say.
Well, I'm glad that he responded back. Otherwise, I just would have hit send and went on my merry way. So.
Well, the thing is, he may have read it and thought, "Wow, that was kind of a negative comment," and then read who it was from.
Right.
Was like, "Oh wait, he
I know
definitely
this
did
guy.
not."
This is the guy from the Diz List. Okay, I know him.
Yeah, that's really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I also would like, we're not associated with this person, but Craig from Diz Unlimited, used to be the Diz Unplugged, whatever. He did a really cool, he went multiple shows over the last few days with his top-notch camera and filmed the entire show and went through the whole thing. And so he has a very good video on it. It's very well done.
Cool.
He
I'll have to go
posted
watch
some
that
of the
too.
reels and stuff. His reels, Teleclaster, I think is how you would say his handle. But go look at the Diz Unlimited. I'm pretty sure that video is up. But yeah, sadly, we're not going to see the original Country Bears. But I'm excited to hear what your take is on what songs belong.
I had another. Speaking of which, to kind of finish the story with the conversation I had with my wife.
Yeah.
No, I left off the end part. We had kind of a nice conversation about nostalgia versus what's currently right in our society. And if you look and listen to some of the lyrics and some of the lyrics to some of those songs, they're, not quite appropriate for today's audiences. And this conversation started because the other day I was cooking a meal, and I like to listen to music while I cook. We actually got one of those Google Nest things like you have, which I love to do now. Is that what you have? What do you have by your sink with the screen?
Oh, it's the Echo Show. But yeah.
What's the difference?
One's made by Amazon, one's made by Google.
There's the answer. So I have the Google one. And
you have the other Overlord.
Yeah, yes.
I have the other. I have one Overlord, you have the other.
I'm getting off track. But I was cooking and we were listening to Frank Sinatra. And Luck Be a Lady came on and I'm singing along. And my wife goes, "Do you ever listen to these lyrics?" I go, "Well, yeah, it's kind of a metaphor for the woman being luck." She goes, "Yeah, but it's kind of a double metaphor. This is not really appropriate." And I'm listening to it. And that's kind of what started our conversation of things that we like. That was nostalgia that I've always kind of listened to Frank Sinatra, but some of the lyrics are not, quite appropriate to our I don't want to say appropriate. What can we say? Politically correct for our current climate.
Yeah, no, and so I think the songs that I picked, I don't think will have any controversy, and I can't imagine they'd be controversial ever, based on I mean, who knows? The way stuff is, everything could be controversial, but it's going to be an exciting list because I don't think. Sometimes I'm like, okay, we're definitely going to match up. I have
when the field is this wide open, I think we'll have a couple that are the same, but who knows? I know one we probably have the same.
Okay, well, we'll see.
We're about to see.
Yeah, we are. So we're going to head off to the halftime show. Before we get there, I just wanted to say, if you aren't following us on Instagram or any of the social media platforms, it's at DizListPod. You can also check us out on patreon.com/DizListPod. And of course, like always, the halftime show is going to be brought to you by magicmerch.art.
Yeah.
We have our Printify storefront and an Etsy storefront currently with some good sales going on. So check us out over there. If you're not sure, go to Instagram and then follow one of the links, or just go to magicmerch.art.
Yeah, the sales have been pretty good this week too. So thank you if you're a listener and you purchase something. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. And then also our patrons of the week that are bringing us this show, Sarah T. and Emily P. Thank you very much for all the support you've given us over the last year or so that you've been patrons. So thank you.
See you after the break.
Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the top 5 songs we believe belong in Country Bears' new show.
Yep.
There is a ton of music in the Disney catalog.
Yeah.
And when you think about the Country Bears, there's a couple ways you could go. Are they totally revamping the show and just going with songs that lend themselves to country, or are they going to stick with the kind of comedic relief,
Right.
the comic relief stuff going on. So I'm very interested. I don't know. You said you think we match up on one.
Yeah.
I started thinking as I was looking at my list, I do think there's one we're going to match up on just based on all things considered. But we'll see. And
I also bet that you're going to have some that I'm going to go, oh, it's a great idea, and I didn't even think of, and vice versa.
And I have reasoning behind them, and I have some stuff with like I have an honorable mention that I think would be good if they would change words to make it more appropriate for the Country Bears.
Oh, see, that's a good point too. Could they change the words to some of these songs too?
So I'm excited. So why don't we just jump right in head first, not even look, just go.
I was thinking this one specifically would be kind of funny if Liver Lips McGraw, who is a character, he's the one.
You mean Romeo?
Right. I was going to get to that too.
That's all right.
Romeo, his name will be changed to Romeo. So I thought it might be a cool thing to work in if you have two bears or more, and do Whistle While You Work. And do Whistle While You Work, but then Romeo McGraw or Liver Lips is doing the whistling part. So he's already got his lips kind of out like he's whistling.
Yeah.
So when they do kind of the call and response, Whistle While You Work, which is, from Snow White. But I thought it would be kind of a funny one if they countryfied it and they had Liver Lips do the whistling. It'd be kind of fun because then also it's crowd interactive. So when Liver Lips whistles back, the crowd can whistle along with it. Because I'm always thinking that way as a musician and a
100%.
performer. Can the crowd get involved? So I don't know. I thought that one would be kind of cool.
I think that's actually a pretty good idea. I think crowd interaction is something that I didn't really think about when I was picking mine.
Well, for some, not for all of them, but
yeah, I do think it's a good. I think that crowd interaction in that particular attraction needs to happen.
Yes.
Otherwise, why go? You know what I mean? Like all those song based ones.
That harkens back to your first experience at Country Bears was with me, who.
Yep.
You come in and you're like, oh my God, what's Rob going to do? Because I told you I'm going to go nuts.
Yeah, no, it was.
So you sit down next to me and it starts and I'm stomping my feet and I'm clapping really loud.
Right.
I'm trying to get everybody going because that's what I do when I get in there every single time.
Yeah. I think, first off, I think that some of the songs can stay and might just be re-recorded. But.
Like Bear Band Serenade?
Yeah, yes.
I think it needs, in my opinion, I think it needs to start the same way.
Yes, correct.
It needs to start with, the Bear Band Bears will play now in the good old key of G. They got to start the same way.
Yeah, I don't think there's a reason why that needs to change.
Right.
But I think that if they're going to go to Disney IP songs, which they are, then having songs that allow for interaction is super important.
Now, I love Big Al. Maybe you do, but I don't have anything specifically here that I see that's Big Al.
So I didn't pick these songs with, this is who sings them. I have some ideas for some of them.
Only that one is the one where I had Liver Lips because of the whistle part.
Yeah. So I have some where I'm like, okay, that one, like, you'll know when I get there.
Well, go. What's your 5 then?
My number 5 is a deep cut that I would be shocked if you have on your list. And it is from Robin Hood.
Oh, my God.
No way. You have Oodalali on there?
Yes, it's my number 4.
Oh, my God.
Yes, because it sounds country.
It's a Roger Miller song.
That's my number 4.
No way.
Robin Hood and Little John walking through the forest.
Yes.
Doom, ding, doom, ding,
Yeah.
doom, ding.
It's such, already, like...
As soon as you said deep cut, I go, I got a deep cut too.
The reason that I think the reason I put it at number 5 and not higher, because I do think it actually is probably on my list the best match for Country Bears.
Yes, me
too. But the reason I put it at 5 is because it's low hanging fruit.
Yes,
it's like, okay,
I love that movie.
It's underrated.
That and Jungle Book are like 2 of my favorite from that time, and they actually take some of the animation from Jungle Book and they reuse the same animation in that movie.
Yeah. So Oodalali, if you don't know it, go and listen to it. It's a Roger Miller song, so it fits right in.
It's great.
It makes perfect sense. I can't believe we matched it because I was like, there's no way we're matching up on this.
Oh, that song is awesome.
So of all the songs we could have picked from, we both picked that one.
It has a fiddle in it. I mean, harmonica, everything. It's great.
I think it's a great one. And when you consider it too, think about the movie. What animal?
He's a bear.
He's a bear. Mm-hmm. So that's another reason why I think it's low hanging fruit and makes it a little bit easier for us to pick. But yeah, the right from the instrumental part all the way through, it's the one song on my list that they don't have to actively countryfy because it's already countryfied.
Yes.
So that's my number 5 and your number 4. That's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe that. You have anything you wanted to add about that song?
Just that I love that movie, and it's underrated, and it's way underrepresented in the parks. I mean, there's hardly anything that's from that movie.
Is there anything?
I don't think so. And I'm trying to think back to, is there anything that's off color? Like why have they not pushed that? And even in the 80s, oh my gosh, maybe there was. Is there something with King Richard or?
I don't know. I
don't know.
I don't think there's anything off color about that song.
Great characters.
Or about that movie. So I'm shocked.
I don't know. I've said this for a long time too, and I don't want to get off on too much of a tangent, but I love thinking about this is Disney doing these remakes, right? So they're remaking Moana live action with The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, which is going to be great. Let's remake an older animated movie, just reanimate it again and make it in 3-dimensional,
in today's animation.
Yeah. Have John Goodman play, Little John. You could have great, or Owen Wilson plays Robin Hood. Like, be great. I mean, think about that. Reanimate it, 3D animation.
I don't disagree.
Robin Hood's a great timeless story. It's underdog story. I love it. I wish that Disney would just. Why can't they do that? I mean, they're doing the live action remake of Cinderella. Why can't they just take the movie and kind of reinvent it and reanimate it again? They own it.
Yeah. My bigger issue is why they don't tell good stories at all anymore. But
I know. Oh my gosh. Wish has been a total, I don't know. Did you hear the numbers of how big of a flop it was?
Well, but
I kind of feel bad.
Here's the thing. It was always going to be a flop because they didn't advertise it.
I know.
And they didn't do a good job of pushing it. And they ruined. Look, I don't feel bad for Disney's flops because they ruined it because we all know that I can sit at home and watch it on Disney Plus in 2 weeks.
Do me a favor and play the trailer for your daughter. Because I think she's one of the target audiences for this.
She's seen the trailer. She's looking forward to coming out on Disney Plus.
Oh, so she does want to see it.
Yeah, but
I played the trailer for my daughter, who's 16.
Yeah.
And I just said, tell me what you think. And I played it for her the other day. And she goes, I have no interest in seeing this. She goes, there's nothing in this trailer that has me interested in seeing the movie. Now, the crazy person in me, too, kept pausing it and saying to everybody, look at all the patterns everywhere. It's like visual overload. All their clothing is patterned. All the background is patterned. Like everything's a crazy. Take a look next time. Like if you end up watching it, go, oh yeah, there's patterns everywhere. This is annoying.
All right. We'll do that. Now let's back to the show.
Yeah.
Back to the music.
If we have to.
Yeah. So you said you're number 4. I guess that means that I'm at my number 4, right?
Right. Which will probably be my number 3. Let's see.
I'll be shocked.
Really?
That this will be your number 3.
If you're shocked, then it's not, because this is a big one.
Oh, this is not a big one.
My number 3 is a big one, so it won't be the same.
So this one is specifically for the sisters.
Oh, cool.
Someday My Prince Will Come.
Oh, that'll sound great.
Like a countrified version of Someday My Prince Will Come with the girls.
And the 3-part harmonies. There's three. Yeah.
The 3 sisters singing Someday My Prince Will Come. I think that would be great.
That'd be great.
Because you have to involve them still, right? Or you should involve them still, not have to.
I think everyone's still coming out.
Yeah. So you need to have a song for them.
Yep.
It's not going to be all the guys that turn me on, turn me down. Yeah. Let's be honest. That's one of the songs that was the main culprit for redo.
Yep.
So Someday My Prince Will Come, and maybe throw in a few lines in the middle, like spoken lines that kind of joke a little bit, but not in an off-color way.
Yep.
Not a too off-color way. But Someday My Prince Will Come, I think, is perfect for the girls to sing, personally.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it'd be a great little way to you can countrify that song. You can countrify any song, but that song, you do a little bit of a quick rearrangement of it and change it up a little bit.
Add a fiddle, and a lot of country is bending up to the note.
Yeah, a little steel guitar in there, and I think that would be a great way to involve the 3 sisters with something that is still reminiscent of like, hey, we're not loved, right? Because That's the whole point of the song, right?
right.
Someday I'm going to get my prince.
See,
so
that's good.
So that's why I think
that's a
that
good
one
parallel.
would be great in there. So I'm assuming that was not your number 3.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. My number 3 actually has a really interesting tie to the Country Bears, because if listeners don't know, a few years ago there was a rumor that the Country Bears were going to go away and be replaced by Toy Story. So my idea is, and this is kind of a nod to this specific situation, to add Randy Newman's "You Got a Friend in Me" from Toy Story.
That's your what?
That is my number 3. So I thought it would be cool at the beginning. If you're familiar with Country Bears, they have kind of the bear band pops up, and I can't remember how many, maybe 5 of them, and there's a piano. I would love if just the piano came up and it starts off kind of a countrified piano, and then more members of the bear band join in and make you Got a Friend in Me a little bit more of a bigger, and they kind of add, because it's I'm a friend, and they kind of pop
and it's
up.
Also a really good crowd participation song, honestly, because everybody knows that song.
Yep.
So if you were to guess about how many songs are in the Disney catalog,
Oh my God, it's hundreds.
I would, yeah. I mean, it's got to be like in almost 1,000, right?
I don't know about that many, but maybe.
Well, how many? You figure they've got how many live action movies, how many animated movies, and then
but they're not
multiply
all
that
musicals.
by. Okay,
but then there's multiple songs per movie.
Right. So let's just say there's 300 songs.
Sure.
Would that be good?
Sure.
Total. And going all the way back to was it Bed Knobs and Broomsticks, all the way, going all the way through all those old classic stuff.
Sure.
Right. Out of all of those, the fact that we both picked this number 3.
Oh my God.
So You've Got a Friend. Remember last week we talked about how I'm starting to look like my pet Rob.
Yes.
So my pet dog. That's what's happening here. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I put it at the same spot in my list. I don't think it's as low hanging fruit as Oodle Alley, but it's definitely down there as far as hey, grab me, because it's very easy to countrify that and change the piano a little bit from that classical Randy Newman piano to a more of a of the saloon piano. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The slightly out of tune.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think that you throw that in there, and there's nothing that really would. And it's a bunch of friends playing music together, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no one would bat an eye that that's in there, and it's a good song. Nobody's going to complain about. So you got to remember, there are some people upset that they're losing their songs. You bring in these big ones, like these
fun
big hitters
ones,
here,
yeah,
that are fun. Nobody's going to complain.
Mm-hmm.
I agree completely. So what I thought was going to be a very long show, because we were going to be arguing, turned into.
You may have the same number 2 as me, because I'm my number 2. I look at and I go, I bet you Nick's got this one.
I don't know, maybe, but I can tell you this much: You've Got a Friend in Me. My vision for it was exactly what you like. That's what blows my mind. It's it pops up, they start playing the piano, then it's one friend, then another friend, then so much so that it could very well be the show closer, the grand finale. Everybody sings together.
No, Bare Necessities has to be.
Yeah, I think that's the show closer, but this is a strong runner up, or it's a show opener after they play the
Bear Band Serenade.
Yeah. And then they come in, so you get introduced to everybody in the group.
And that's set list 101. You put hit at the beginning, you put hit at the end, put another strong one in the middle, and then you pepper in everything else. Unless you're a band where everything's a greatest hit, Journey.
Aerosmith.
Journey, get out of here with your Aerosmith. I was gonna say Journey, Def Leppard. I wouldn't say Metallica, because they always play old catalog non-hits. It's really interesting. Yeah. It's cool. I like it, but they're not the band that just does all the hits.
Yeah. I can't believe we matched up on You've Got a Friend in Me, but we did. So we both have set our number 3.
Yeah, I think we're going to match up on this one. I do.
I don't know.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So here, I'll set the stage for my number 2. Ready? On the far left, there's a curtain. The curtain opens, and one of the bears is there. Whichever one, doesn't matter. It would be cool no matter who. You see a bear there. Way far on the right, well, yeah, I guess more than one bear can pop up. Another bear's on the far right. And they do kind of back and forth Hakuna Matata.
Nope, did not put it on my list.
How cool would that be? Like way at both ends, Hakuna Matata, like on the far left, and then on the far right, whichever other bear, Hakuna Matata. Maybe it's opposite. Maybe Big Al's on the left and Wendell's on the right, or whatever.
So I'll tell you why it's not on my list, and then let you finish.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, it's not on my list because I thought of songs that are humorous, but also are humorous for anybody. Like as far as for anybody could sing them. They're kind of humorous. My point being that for me, and this is strictly for me because of my love for that movie, is that I will always only hear the original song. Like,
sure.
Like a lot of people liked the redo when they did the live action remake. I hate it because all I hear was it Nathan Lane and I can't remember the other actor's name, but
geez, what's his name?
Yeah,
the comedian.
Yes, but either way,
yeah, that helps.
Yeah.
The comedian,
the funny guy.
My God.
You're like one of our friends. You know what's her face?
Yeah,
like,
Pineapple Express guy.
So we honestly like growing up, we always watched that movie on loop, and so like I can't put it there. I had it on it's on my short list, but I just can't do it just because I think of those actors singing it. But
I hear it with the fiddle. I hear it. It's easy to countryfy that song.
This is a situation of you're not wrong, but
you wouldn't want it.
But because of my love for that movie, it would be like them putting Grim Grinning Ghosts.
Oh my God!
Something else that you really love in there. Like God. You just can't.
That'd be funny. Right across the street.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Maybe for the Halloween party. Yeah. But I think Hakuna Matata would be cool. Just having that kind of fiddle. I mean, if you think of the fast part, but then again, it's part of. I mean, it's everywhere. I mean, it's such a big song. It's already part of PhilharMagic. Maybe they wouldn't put it in there because of that, but it just is so easy and lends itself to clapping along, putting the fiddle in there.
Well, it's also over at Animal Kingdom in the festival.
Yeah,
Lion King. So.
But hey, good song. It's a good song.
And there's a reason, and everybody would sing.
And bring people in. It's a people eater. That's what they want.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that would be probably a good pick, but again, like I'll be honest with you. Initially,
I love it.
Initially, I had it on my list, and I was like, I just can't hear. In my head, I'm hearing Nathan Lane right now sing it. Like I can't. Yeah. I just can't. I don't know.
I mean, if the voices were different, I mean, think of it like Big Al is Pumbaa, right? And Wendell is Timon, and they just call and response with two different voices. I realize it's still different, and that doesn't help, and that doesn't fix it. But in my mind, it's cool, and it does.
No, I totally get it. I don't think it's a bad choice. For me, because I love that song, or love that movie so much, it makes it tough on me.
Sure.
But that was your number 2?
Mm-hmm. That would be great number 2.
So my number 2, now the Country Bear Jamboree occurs in a spot of the park where like a saloon would make sense, right?
Oh boy.
What?
Keep going.
There's no way.
Keep going.
Okay. There's a saloon.
Oh my God.
Or a pub.
Uh-huh.
Are you kidding me? So I've Got a Dream is my number 2.
That's my number 1.
Oh my goodness.
Uh-huh.
So
that's one of my favorite parts in any Disney movie.
I 100% agree.
I love I Got a Dream so much.
And it makes 100% sense to countryfy that and put that in there.
It's not Ray Romano. He was on Everybody Loves Raymond. I can't think of the guy's name who does the voice in there.
Yeah.
He's awesome. You know the guy I'm talking about?
Yeah, the brother.
When he does the deep, I got a dream,
yeah.
That's Big Al.
Yeah.
I hear that as Big Al.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. 100. Like I put it there.
How much fun it would be! So much. Oh my gosh, that same piano, that tinkly saloon piano, like.
Well, here's the thing too. Is like
it'd be so funny.
Like, you can't pick songs that might go out of style too soon, right?
I think that one has been around long enough.
Right. No, what I'm saying is, what you can't do, like Oodalali is old, right?
Yeah.
But it's country enough that kids that go there and think, because there's going to be plenty of people who go there and think this is an original song for this attraction, right? So, like that one being that age and being something that could be there, it's not going to necessarily go out of style, but it's also not going to, it's not going to be out of place. This song, I think, we are not the only people who think that that's the best musical moment in any of the newer movies, because I think it's the best musical moment in any of the newer movies, possibly all movies, because it's just amazing.
It's amazing. It's hilarious.
And this attraction is about fun.
There's only one I think is better, just to stop you right there.
Okay.
And it's from Frozen. I think it's the only thing.
Let It Go?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I think it's the only thing that tops it. I think I Got a Dream is, I like it better, but Frozen, that's your top moment right there.
Okay.
Recently.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't argue, really.
Yeah.
And guess what? You're not all that terribly far away from the Rapunzel bathrooms. I mean, I know that's a stretch.
That's true. No,
I know it's a
that's true.
stretch, but
Yeah.
like you're not that far away.
Mm-hmm.
And if they really wanted to, I'm not saying they would do this, but like with these songs that we're talking about with IP, movie IP, is while the Bears are singing, if there's little appearances or cameos of people, like, if all of a sudden we get a chameleon pop down out of the sky, right?
Or on a pop out of the top hat.
Yeah. Like something silly like that.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter remains that song occurs in a saloon or a bar of some sort, right?
Perfect. Oh, yeah.
And like, you don't get much more Western than a saloon.
Everyone's going to crack up if they do that too.
And I think that it's a funny song. And if you get like Big Al saying that,
oh my gosh, it'd be hilarious.
like it just, to me, the whole idea of redoing this show is all about picking songs that are funny, that involve the crowd, because you could easily involve the crowd in this one.
Yeah.
That are relevant, because those other songs are not relevant. And just, it wouldn't take very much at all to countrify that song.
Yeah.
I really don't think it would.
So far, most of the ones we have are like upbeat, clap your hands, stomp your feet. But if you think of Country Bears, there's a lot of ballads in there too.
Well, that's why I put the "Someday My Prince Will Come" at 4, because I thought that
I couldn't even think of what I would do as a ballad.
That would be a good
That's
slow
perfect,
one
though.
for that.
Yeah, it's perfect.
So I'll go on to my number 1. I know we've flown through this, but that's okay. It is what it is. We matched up so much.
I'm curious. I have 2 honorable mentions that I could see you putting.
So my number 1 is also a funny one. This one, they wouldn't have to change too much of the words, but they could change some of the words. But I would love to see "You're Welcome" on that list.
That is on my honorable mention.
Yeah, I would like to see "You're Welcome."
Yeah.
I think,
especially the fast part.
yeah, when you think about the song, right? It's like, I'm God's gift, right? Look at me.
Yeah.
I'm a demigod. Like, it's so tongue in cheek that it fits right in
With any of the Bears.
to the Country Bears. Oh, exactly. Exactly.
Wendell's the ugly one, liver lips,
Yeah.
it'd be
Like,
hilarious.
I really think that would be a fun one, and they could easily countrify it and change a few words here and there.
Mm-hmm.
That would make it. That's one where I think changing some words would possibly be in play to make it so it's not talking about like what they've actually done, but like make it something about maybe what they have actually done, not what Maui has actually done.
Yeah, true.
But I think it's a funny song. I think it's certainly relevant if you're looking for big hitters in the world. Like, because let's be honest, Tangled, we love that movie.
Mm-hmm.
It is not. If you talk about the recent movies, you're talking Frozen, and Moana.
Yeah,
right. In my mind,
people put Encanto up there, but I was not a fan of that movie.
Or Coco. Like I had considered putting one from
I didn't
Coco
even think
in
of
there.
that.
So
Coco was good.
yeah, but I think that You're Welcome would be hilarious to watch them. And like you say, it fits with every single bear. You could go with any bear.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think it'd be a fun one. I know that you've got some honorable mentions. I've got some honorable mentions. Some of them I think you might even think, well, that should replace this one on your list. But we'll see. So why don't we start talking about some honorable mentions here? What have you got?
I had 2. One of them you said, and it was You're Welcome. The other one is, now I put one from this movie, but there's so many of these songs from this movie that you could plug in here. And that is, since Tiana is coming in to the area and it's going to become New Orleans Square, I had Almost There.
Yeah,
might be a fun one.
That's on my honorable mention.
Yeah, but there's a couple other songs from that movie that are close, or even
You talked about ballads. When Ray is singing to Evangeline.
Right. That might be good,
that's
too.
a good one too.
Well, especially if they want to do more with that movie.
And if you're talking, changing him from Liver Lips to Romeo,
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be a fun one for Romeo to sing, right?
Oh, yeah.
Singing to Evangeline.
Yeah.
So I think that would be a good one.
Yeah, I think anything from that movie would be cool.
Yeah, and it's right across the street.
Yeah.
I mean, it's right there.
I still think the chances are really good that they just make that area New Orleans Square. And I know that wouldn't really fit with the Country Bears, but like, I don't know.
I mean,
whatever, they make it work.
Yeah, I mean, they could easily. Who knows? When we go in there, maybe Bare Necessities is countrified and everything else is Zydeco style. I mean, you never know. They could straight up do that, and
it's very similar.
We wouldn't know. I mean, the day we walk in, we'd find out. I had one that definitely would need to be. The words would need to be changed, but I think it's a hilarious song. It is low key the funniest song that Disney has done, in my opinion, and that's Gaston's song.
Oh yeah, that's a great choice.
So I think it'd be hilarious. You know, I'm especially good at expectorating.
Yes.
Like, dude, come on, using the word expectorating in a song. I think that would be a good one for again any of the Bears. But they would have to change. Like, instead of saying no one like Gaston, it's going to have to be, you know, like Romeo or like Big Al or like Wendell. You know, I don't know how they do it, but they could do it.
I forgot the other Bears change. There's 4 walk-around bears.
Well, there's
I'm trying to remember the name of the other.
Liver Lips, soon to be Romeo. There's Big Al.
Oh, Shaker.
There's Wendell.
Shaker. I'll show you who Shaker is.
Yeah.
This guy. He looks kind of like Wendell. That's Shaker. I can't remember. One of them, either Wendell plays the fiddle and Shaker plays the guitar, or vice versa.
Yeah. So to me, I think that would be a fun one also that could easily go in my list of songs. And we already mentioned the songs from Princess and the Frog. Mm-hmm. I also had considered from Coco, right? The Remember Me song. Because remember, in that song, there are like 4 different versions of that song within the movie itself.
That would, and especially if they want to slow it down a little bit, that would be
because there is the slowed down version of that song in Coco.
Yeah,
and so you don't have to do the super upbeat one. You could easily do the slowed down version of that song. And I think it's very. I mean, the jump from that kind of music that it is in the movie to country is so small that it wouldn't surprise me if that's what they did. It's all going to hinge on whether or not it's going to hinge on how they're leaning, what the future of that spot is. If they're thinking about going New Orleans Square style stuff, I think you're going to see a different playlist than if they're going to keep it Frontierland. And that's my opinion.
I'm blanking on this. Do they sing Davy Crockett? Because if they don't, that might be a good one to have in there.
I don't think they do. So
I know you hear it as you're walking around. They have it as like the harmonica song as you're walking through Frontierland.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't. They could definitely do that. I just think that you're going to see them go more popular, newer music.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right,
and that's why Oodle was lower. Plus, it was like low hanging fruit. But like, I do think they're going to go.
But I mean, it's a medley. They just do short parts of all these songs, and if they're going to do a bunch of them, if a kid knows, you know, your average kid knows like 75% of them, a couple of them can be thrown in there for the older crowd like us.
Now my question, this is not something we talked about making on the list, but we got a little bit of time, so let's talk about it. What do you see them doing? Are they going to do a complete and total overhaul, meaning that the Bears aren't in the same spots, that the stage looks different, or are they going to do a thing where the Bears are all in the same spots, they're updated, and they're just better animatronics with better technology?
We already know they're updating them from, hydraulic to servo?
Correct.
So that's going to happen, but that's hard.
Because my thought...
They can stay in the same spots.
My belief is they're going to be very similarly placed throughout.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with them being in the same spots. I think that I want to see more of the bear band in the middle.
Yes.
I think that is kind of a good thing. I mean, do they all have their own independent spots? I don't think so.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do. Are they going to mix it up? Are they going to change it? But yeah. I don't think they need to.
Listen, here's the thing. We can crap on Disney all the time about taking shortcuts and whatnot, right? We can talk about, social media in general is a super toxic place. and people get going about, well, Disney did this, and it's going to be bad. I think they have an opportunity here for not a huge investment to make this a remarkable show. Not just a good show that, okay, I really want to go see it because it's new.
Yep.
But a show that's like, I am so glad they did this. I wish they had done it earlier. They have that opportunity. They really and truly do have the opportunity to make this remarkable. At the same time, with that opportunity comes the opportunity for it to be the brand new under new management. Do you know what I'm talking about? TQ.
Yeah.
So it could go one of two ways.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very interested to see what they do. This is me being optimistic. I would love for them, because it still says coming 2024, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would love for them to have been behind the scenes already. These things are built, done, and all they're doing is going in there, ripping stuff out, fixing the stage up, painting, and putting the new stuff in.
Yeah.
And I would love nothing more than to show up in July and be like, yep, you're going to Country Bears because it's already open.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen. It's going to be in the fall.
Right.
But, I would love for Disney to surprise us like that, because I think they have the opportunity to.
I think with the show the way it's always been, with kind of being slightly off color and everyone kind of ignores it, I think there's an opportunity too for kind of pushing the characters and maybe merchandising a little bit more. Because, they did. I have a Big Al plush right over there on the wall, but why not do that again? Why not put some Country Bears stuff or have like a little mini gift shop at the exit? I swear there used to be one. Anyone who remembers, maybe you're yelling out, yes, there used to be one there. But I feel like when you went up the ramp at the top, there was, some merchandise related to Frontierland. Bring back the Big Al plush, T-shirts, concert posters.
Couldn't you just take out the shooting gallery, which is like a wasted space?
Yeah, geez, that's been there forever.
That's maybe why they don't want to take it out. But
I don't think I've done it since mid-'80s.
Right. Like,
have your kids ever done it?
Yeah, the first trip, but it's never really being used.
Yeah, I forget that it's there.
Or even just one of those kiosks, where they sell like the corn dog nuggets and stuff like that over there, like the mini corn dog. You could easily do like just one of those like you said, the pin trading type place. Mm-hmm. You do one of those small kiosks of just Country Bears stuff. Mm-hmm. I'd be in line. I'd buy it.
Love it.
There are so many shirts out there right now that are being designed by independent designers like you and I that are like celebrating Big Al. Like Disney, I got one. Disney should definitely take advantage of that.
You know that picture I have hanging up in my classroom, the drawing I did of Big Al?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if we can use it legally, but
yeah,
I got a good one.
So I just think that I'm excited for this, and almost in an irrational sense that I'm this excited for this show.
I'm glad.
Partially because I think I'm more excited than you probably are, only because you loved that original.
But I'm okay with the change.
And I loved it. Look, it was great. It was great. But I'm not attached to, there's not that nostalgia for me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So for me, I'm looking at the opportunities that Disney has to make it so that my kids don't moan and groan about going in there, but let's be honest.
Your daughter was not pumped about doing that.
Yeah.
And you're like, come on.
Yeah.
Let's go in. Rob really wants to see this.
Yes. So she was not pumped, and I think if it was more relevant, she would be.
Yes, agree. If there was a song from
and
Moana.
since we know they're going Disney, and they're not going to be playing Taylor Swift, and they're not going to be playing, Coldplay or whatever. I don't know.
Or even current. There's no Carrie Underwood, or let's go with current.
Yeah, they're not doing that.
Well, Taylor Swift's kind of country, but
she started that way.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be. I'm super excited actually for it, more so than I thought I would be. So.
My closing thoughts are this.
Yep.
There was a chance that it was going to close and be Toy Story, as I mentioned earlier in the podcast. If that were to happen, I would be very sad. That would be very hard for me. But knowing that they still have those adorable characters and those awesome animatronics, I will say that I know we did an animatronics countdown at one point. I can't remember if I put Big Al in there. He's not a great animatronic as far as like functionality and movement goes, but what a cool character. He's huge. He's funny. Just what an awesome original character from the Walt Disney Company. So my point is, they're not going away. It's changing. So seeing this version, it's like, okay, that's kind of a bummer. Now we get a sequel, but they're not gone. To me, that's why it's like, okay, cool. What's next? You know, I it's hard for a Disney fan in general. I'm sure we have listeners that are like this when something changes, and I am guilty of this too with Winnie the Pooh and the Mr. Toad. But I'm okay with it, knowing that they're still going to be there. It's just a new set list. You know, I think it's gone for good.
I think it's going to be fabulous, personally.
Me too.
I think it's going to turn out great. I'd like to give Disney the benefit of the doubt on this one. So
yeah,
I'm totally with you. Thanks again, everybody, for listening. As I mentioned before, you can check us out on patreon.com/DizListPod, where you can get early access to new episodes and bonus content once a week. We also, you can follow us over on social media at DizListPod and check us out there. And then check out magicmerch.art, please, because we've got some pretty cool designs that we're proud of. And thank you to those people who've been buying this week. This week was our best week yet. So thank you very much.
Now I'm going to let you close the show this week.
Okay, you're not going to jump in. So
no.
they don't know about that. They don't know about what you did last week. So last week, Rob tried to close the show on me, and that's something we do over on Patreon, where we do stuff opposite. And I think he just thought we were doing a Patreon episode last week, so he jumped in. But it's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow, and tomorrow's just a list away.
Tune in next time, and we'll see you real soon.